Hi, it's Cory.
And Stephanie.
And welcome to EPCOT. Excited to be back here today for opening day of the Taste of EPCOT International Festival of the Holidays here for the year 2020. And always has been one of my favorite of the festivals.
Yeah, I'm super excited. You can already hear the Christmas music playing and we can see a lot of the pretty Christmas decorations. And it just really puts you in the mood for Christmas. So we're super excited to take you around and show you some of the things that EPCOT has to offer right now.
Yeah, try as much of the food as we can. I know there's a lot of sweet offerings as part of this festival, but they're always really tasty. And Steph's right. It's like it's the festival that is the holidays. That's why they call it the Festival of the Holidays.
That makes sense.
It's so awesome having all the Christmas decorations. There's a big tree back here behind us, and with the music playing. So I'm excited. Let's go try some food.
Let's go.
For our first stop of the day, we've made it here to the Mele Kalikimaka Holiday Kitchen, and it's here that we're gonna try the Kahlua Pork with Okinawa purple sweet potatoes and mango salad for $5.25. Okay, so our first item of the day here at the Mele Kalikimaka Holiday Kitchen is this pork item, and I gotta say, this Kahlua Pork, it is a big portion. When Stephanie brought this over and set it down, I was like, man, that is a lot of pork compared to other festivals where they have like the pork sliders and it's just like this little bit of pork. There's like a lot of pork here, and there's those purple sweet potatoes and a mango salad on top. Let's see how it tastes. That's absolutely delicious. The pork itself, really tender, nice and juicy. Has a nice saltiness to it, which is perfect because it pairs well with that the sweet potato. It's kind of like a chunky mashed purple sweet potatoes underneath, and it's kind of a nice surprise, that sweetness that goes with the pork. And then you got sweet on top with the mangoes, and the different textures all work perfectly together. And for this size of an entree for $5.25, I think this is a great value compared to other items we've seen at the festival in the past. Great way to start. Also from the Mele Kalikimaka Holiday Kitchen, we're gonna try the Jalpia, and this is Hawaiian coconut pudding with candied macadamia nuts and coconut for $4.25.
So I've always liked coconut pudding, and I was kind of expecting something like chilled, like in a little serving dish, and that is not what this is. So I'm excited to try something a little bit different. Let's get in and see how these flavors are. This is a really good dessert. I'm going to do my best to try to explain all the flavors because there's quite a bit going on for such a simple sounding dessert. The topping itself has a really nice coconut flavor, not overly powerful. It's very smooth, no actual like coconut flakes in it. The bottom of it is actually just like a little bit of a cakey layer. It's very moist, blends very well. The other flavor that's coming in are these little candied macadamia nuts that are on top. They're nice because you've got the saltiness of the nuts, but also a sweetness on the candied layer, and it pairs very well with the just mild coconut flavor that's on this pudding. I really like this, and it's really good because it's kind of warm today. This is a really good dessert.
We made our way into the festival showplace and stopped off at the festival favorites booth, and it's here that we're gonna try the duck confit and dumplings served with roasted Brussels sprouts and fig reduction for $8. Okay, so this duck dish is huge. Look at this. I did not expect this big of a piece of duck. And it is like, what was it, $8 for a really, really big portion. And I just cut a piece off of it. It's really crispy. Let's see how it tastes. Really nice. That's delicious. Really crispy skin on the outside. Such a nice crunch, but the duck is still nice and moist inside. Nice seasoning on the skin. That fig reduction it's perfect. It's got some spices in it, kind of give it that holiday flavor, but it's nice and sweet and goes really well, again, with the salty skin on the actual duck itself. Let's give one of these Brussels sprouts a try down here on the bottom. Brussels sprouts, not really that special. I think they could actually be cooked a little more. They're kind of a little bit too dense for me, for my liking. I mean, I like crispy Brussels sprouts, like if they were fried where they've got, or roasted where they've got some crispy edges on it, that would be good, but they just seem like they're undercooked. But the duck is the star of the dish, and it is delicious. Also in the festival showplace is the holiday Hearth booth, and it's here that we're gonna try the Gingerbread Milkshake for $4.50.
So let's give this cute little typical gingerbread milkshake a try. You can see basically the size comparison. Here's, you know, a spoon next to it. Nice little serving size here. Let's see how it tastes. Ooh, it's melting. It is like drinking a frozen melted gingerbread. That flavor on the ginger comes through very nicely. It honestly is like a melted cookie in a glass. The topping is very nice and light. Doesn't really offer any flavor, just like a basic whipped cream, but it's very good. And we can give this cute little gingerbread man a try and see how he is. I can see the little sugar crystals on him. Gingerbread man is extra crispy. Nice flavor of a typical gingerbread. Nothing super special with the gingerbread man itself. The star of this is definitely the milkshake. I could do without the cookie, but the flavor there is really good.
Our next stop is here in France at the La Marche de Noël Holiday Kitchen, and it's here that we're gonna try the turkey with bacon, mushrooms, and onions in a mustard cream sauce with puffed potatoes for $6.95. So it's the day after Thanksgiving, so I had a ton of turkey yesterday, so I'm not sure quite why I ordered turkey again, but it sounded good. I think what got me is the mushrooms with the mustard cream sauce here in France. It just sounded interesting, so I got it. And you can see some pieces of turkey there. I see the mushrooms and these little puff, I don't know, they almost look like little donuts. Let's give it a try. The flavors are really good coming through. I like that mustard cream sauce, which really makes the whole dish. The onions and mushrooms have really great flavor too. I will say that the turkey itself, unfortunately, is a little bit dry, but all that sauce, I guess, kind of makes up for it. If it wasn't for that sauce, it would be a really bland dish. But overall, the flavors are good. It's just this turkey is pretty dry, but flavors are delicious. Back in Japan now at the Shiwasu Holiday Kitchen, we're gonna try the New Year's celebration soba with buckwheat soba noodles and hot dashi soup with shrimp tempura, fish cake, and chopped green onion for $7.50.
So we had the soba noodles last year and we really enjoyed them, so we wanted to give them a try again this year. First things first, this thing is so hot. When they handed it to me, I didn't remember it being quite so hot. Definitely nice if it's cold outside. Today is not the day, but it smells really good, so let's see how the flavors are. Those buckwheat noodles are extremely good. The texture's a little different than like your typical noodle, but the flavor is very good. The broth has a nice hearty flavor to it. It's got a nice saltiness to it as well. As you can see, the big tempura shrimp is actually just sitting on it, so I'll give that a try and let's see how it is. The shrimp itself actually has very good flavor. The tempura is a little bit on the soggy side just from sitting in the broth, but because it absorbs that flavor of the broth, which has good flavor, it does taste very good. Just a little bit off from a texture standpoint, but the flavors are very good, and if it was cold outside, this would definitely be a winner.
Also from the Shiwasu Holiday Kitchen, we're gonna try the Ichigo Milk Boba. And this is cranberry and yuzu cream drink with Japanese Calpico and popping strawberry boba pearls for $5.25. All right, let's give this cranberry cream drink a try. That's different. Wow. I don't even know what to, I don't really know the flavor. It's almost like a lemonade. I taste a little bit of kind of like the creamy flavor, the milky flavor, but I really can't pinpoint something to compare it to, but it's really good. It tastes almost like a little strawberry, even though I know that that is not, it's cranberry flavor, but it almost tastes a little strawberry. They didn't have straws there, so I can't even get down to try the boba pearls without a spoon, because those boba pearls are supposed to be strawberry. There we go. See how that. Overall, it's all right. There's no ice in it, like most of the drinks are around here. They have ice in them, the non-alcoholic drinks. If it had ice, it might be a little better because it would be colder. It's not cold enough, but I just can't pinpoint the flavor, and it's nothing special. Almost tastes like medicine. A little bit. I would not be getting this one again.
So after Cory had such a negative review, I wanted to give it a try, and I have to admit I actually disagree with him. The flavor to me, it's very tart, almost like a lemonade, like he did say. I can certainly get the fruity flavor. I can't necessarily pinpoint like the tartness of the cranberry, but overall this is very much just a tart drink similar to a lemonade. I think it has a lot of flavor and it doesn't have a medicinal flavor to it to me. The cream on top, I agree that with Cory it could be a little bit colder, and I think it would hold together because the longer it sits here and it starts like falling apart, it doesn't look quite as appetizing. But the boba pearls on the bottom, they're not like the bursting bobas, and it's got the strawberry flavor in it. And I think those are a nice addition to the drink. Overall, would I get it again? Maybe, maybe not, but I do think the flavor is very good. I would have liked to see it chilled, maybe even iced a little bit, just to kind of give it a better composure, since it does kind of fall apart quickly in Florida here. But other than that, I still think it's pretty good.
Our next stop is here in Italy at the Tuscany Holiday Kitchen, where we're going to try the sacchetti alla bascaola, and this is 4 cheese mini beggar's purses filled with sweet sausage, caramelized onions, pancetta, and karimi mushrooms with a creamy sauce, all for $9.50.
So this is one of the more expensive items that we've gotten today. This was $9.50, and I mean it is a decent sized serving, especially seeing how pasta is usually pretty filling. But overall, it is a little pricey at $9.50, so let's see how the flavors are. I will say though, quick glance, you can see there's a lot of bacon that's on this, which is nice, so let's see how it tastes. The flavor is pretty good there. I won't say that this is the best pasta dish I've ever had at one of the festivals here. Overall, I find it a little bit on the bland side. The pasta itself is a nice al dente texture, which I'm fine with. The bacon, however, it almost seems like it was cooked so early that it's had a chance to kind of harden up, so it doesn't have like that nice crispiness to it. Also, the cream flavor isn't really that powerful, so you're not getting a lot of flavor added to this dish. It's got sausage in it, it's got the mushrooms, but for whatever reason it's kind of bland, so I'm not really getting any of those flavors, including the onions, so I'm not really sure what happened with that. Overall, I just find this dish to be a little bland, especially for $9.50.
Next, we're going to stop off here in Mexico at the Las Posadas Holiday Kitchen, and it's here that we're going to try the giant tostada de chorizo, and this is chorizo served on a giant tostada with chipotle black bean puree, salsa verde, queso cotija, crema mexicana, and pickled onion for $9.25. Let's give this tostada a try. It is quite large. I mean, it's a full-size like tortilla. At first, I didn't see the chorizo on there because I was thinking the chorizo was going to be more like a, I don't know. For some reason, I thought of it more like sausage, like slices of sausage. But it's all ground up. You can see it there, kind of on top of the black beans, so it all blends together. Let's see how the flavors are. The flavors are there. Everything works really well together. You've got the black beans. You have the chorizo, the salsa verde, the cream sauce that's on top, and then the cheese. All of it together is delicious. The problem that I have with it is, again, like Italy, Mexico is notorious for being, for some reason, one of the most expensive booths at the festivals, and this one tostada is $9.25, which is just, it's expensive. $9 for one tostada, but the flavors are good. So if you're a really big fan of tostadas and you don't mind spending the $9, that is actually really tasty. I will say it's got a kick. Between the spiciness from the chorizo, the salsa verde, all of that together is quite spicy. One of the spicier dishes that I've had probably at any festival, but the flavors are delicious. Next, in Canada, from the Yukon Holiday Kitchen, we're going to try the Maple Bûche de Noël, and this is maple mousse and cranberry rolled in gingerbread chiffon cake for $4.50. Let's try this Maple Bûche de Noël, and you guys remember from previous festivals, this was like my favorite. I think I went out and said this was like my favorite item that I've ever had from any festival in the past. It was just so delicious when it's done right, when it's not dry, it's nice and moist. This looks really good. It's a really Instagrammable dish, and in the past it's tasted as good as it looks, so let's see if it still tastes just as good. It's so festive too. It's like a nice little, oh man, here we go. Let's give it a try. It's not the same. They went and ruined it. They ruined it by putting chocolate on the outside of it. What I liked about this before is that unlike a lot of the other logs that they had around the World Showcase, this one didn't have the chocolate. It was just the nice fluffy chiffon cake, and the star was that gingerbread flavor with the that little cranberry and the cream in the middle. And if you remember in the past, that had the candied like pecans on top. It is not the same, and the chocolate overpowers everything. I don't care what it is, what dessert it is, when you just coat it in chocolate like that, it just mutes all the flavors of everything else that's in it. So I'm very disappointed that they have gone and put chocolate on it. Now overall, the flavor with the chocolate and everything, it's not a bad dish. It's not like, oh, this is gross. It's still nice and fluffy, and everything's nice and cool. The problem is the chocolate is just, I'm not a fan of it, and it overpowers everything else in the dish. So that really makes me sad, because I was so looking forward to having this again. But if you liked it in the past, it's not the same.
So I'm bummed to hear that Cory didn't like this. It was certainly both of our favorites in previous years. Like he said before, it was very nice because you had that real gingerbread flavor. It was it was very light with the cream. It's got chocolate on it. I like chocolate, so let me see if I focus on this dish, erase the memory of the other one, and see how it tastes. It's still a good roll. If you erase the memory and do not compare it to the previous year's roll, because it is not the same dish, it has a good flavor. The cake itself is nice and moist. It's certainly got that rich chocolate flavor, and that's really going to be your overpowering flavor, but I do still taste the gingerbread flavoring in that. A little bit of that hint of maple. So it still has a good flavor. It's just the chocolate's a little overpowering in my opinion, and I really can't taste that cranberry swirl that's in there. So definitely don't compare it to the previous year's dish if this is something that you were looking forward to, but if you eat it open-mindedly and like chocolate, it is still a very good roll here at the festival.
So that was our day here in Epcot, trying out some of the food offerings for opening day of the Festival of the Holidays. What did you think?
I think we had a good variety of food. Certainly made our way around the World Showcase, but there were certainly some stars of today.
Yeah, there was a lot of food, a lot of different things to try. I will say some misses for sure, and definitely some good items too. I'll let you go first. What was your favorite?
I really enjoyed at the Mali Kaliki Maka, the Hawaiian one. I really enjoyed both of the items that we had there. I thought that the pork was really good. I thought that they gave you quite a bit, and it paired very well with the mango. And I also really liked that coconut dessert. I thought it was, nice light flavor, but it was just nice for today.
I agree. Both of those were absolutely delicious. Perfect portion for the money. You felt like you were getting, it was a good value, and the flavors were great. So delicious there. That is easily my favorite booth that we tried today. And I also like the duck over in the World Showplace, that duck dish, which is in the Festival Favorites booth, but I had actually never had that dish before. That was really good.
Yeah, that was a pretty large serving. Another one of my favorites that we had was the Soba Noodles, mainly because it's something completely different, and I really appreciated the flavors that was in that. And it was just different than anything else we had today. It was a really good portion size. Like I said, when we recorded it would be so good on a day that's a little bit cooler than today.
Yes, we needed to be cooler. Today was hard too because it was hot.
Yes.
It was very hot going around and trying out these different items. So some of this, when you're eating this kind of food, some of this richer food, it's really hard when it's this hot out. But some of the misses, that Italian dish, the little stuffed. The
little cheese ravioli pockets.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
Yes.
There was just a miss for $9.
Yes, there was no flavor, not to be negative or anything, but you certainly couldn't taste any of the sausage, the onions, the mushrooms, even the cream sauce. It was extremely bland. and it was just kind of expensive for having such a bland dish.
And then the bûche de Noël, the maple bûche de Noël in Canada, they had to go and throw chocolate on it and stuff, and it's just not the same.
Yeah,
and it's missing those candied pecans and everything.
Yeah, and that's probably hitting us a little bit harder just because we had it before, and we were anticipating what the flavors. And I will stick with it that I still think that the roll as a whole is very good. You just cannot compare it to previous years, but the flavor is there. Like it is a very good roll still.
Disappointing. But that was our day here. I can't wait for the weather to get cooler. It does, you do have that Christmas feel. You can tell that it is the taste of the festival because there's just not as much offerings as there normally would be. But it's awesome to see the Christmas cavalcades and to see all the decorations and get in the Christmas spirit here in Epcot. But that's gonna do it for us here today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe below for more like it. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.